Even Michael Jordan admitted it. He feared some rivals. They forced him to expand his game.
He thought well. I mean, he was very smart about his defense. He introduced certain tricks to make me, expand on my talents as an offensive player. I mean, that's why I consider him the best.
Jordan is known for dunks, for shoes, and for being the greatest of the great. But surprisingly, what really pushed him was fear. Fear of being stopped, fear of being solved. The bad boys wrote the Jordan rules just to break him, and for a time, it worked. And that fear became fuel. It sharpened every weapon. These players didn't just challenge Jordan, they made him question his throne.
They'll get another crack at it. 9 seconds, now 8. Jordan against Joe, 5 seconds. Topside gunning, no!
Before Jordan could chase glory, he had to survive Detroit, and not just the bruises of the bad boys, but Joe Dumars, the respectful nemesis. The one defender who forced him to expand his game. From 1985 through 1991, the Pistons went 36-29 against the Bulls in the regular season and knocked Chicago out of the playoffs 3 straight years. Dumars wasn't a brawler. He was precise. He mirrored every jab step, cut off every drive, and turned rhythm into frustration. Jordan admitted it himself.
I think he approaches the game as trying to dissect his opponents and try to find weaknesses or try to force them to do things that they didn't feel comfortable doing.
This wasn't Lane Beer's elbows or Rodman's wrestling. Dumars beat him with footwork and angles, and the result spoke. In January 1990, Jordan played 34 minutes and scored just 16 points, one of the lowest outputs of his prime. Dumars later reflected,
probably more than any other game, that's the game I looked forward to the most. Because you knew that night you had to be at your absolute best.
The defining moment came in 1991. When Chicago finally broke through and swept Detroit, the Pistons stormed off the floor without handshakes, but not Dumars. He stopped, shook Jordan's hand, and walked away. For Jordan, that was the difference. Against Lane Beer and Rodman, he feared the bruises. Against Dumars, he feared the blueprint. The thought that someone might figure him out. He wasn't the bruiser, he was the one who made Jordan doubt. Joe Dumars tested Jordan's game, but Charles Barkley, the MVP rival, came for his crown. In 1993, Charles Barkley stood at the peak of his powers, the league's MVP, 62 wins, more than Jordan's Bulls. For once, the spotlight wasn't on Jordan, and that's what made Barkley different. They were close off the floor, but on it, they fought for the same crown.
I was a little bit upset that I didn't get the MVP that year and they gave it to Charles Barkley. But with that said, okay, fine, you can have that. I'm gonna get this.
This meant the finals, and Barkley came in swinging. Game 2 in Chicago, Barkley dropped 42 to steal a win. For a moment, the crown looked like it could change hands, but Jordan's response was ruthless, averaging 41 points for the series, possession after possession, answering every Suns basket with one of his own. Barkley thought he had his shot at the crown until Jordan reminded him who owned it. After Game 2, he went home to his daughter in tears and admitted,
I ain't never said this in my life. I think that guy might be better at basketball than I am.
Even Barkley's bravado cracked. The legacy was cruel. Barkley never got back to the finals. His MVP season became his peak. Barkley had the trophy. Jordan kept the crown. His best year became his ceiling. Jordan's run never ended. Barkley pushed Jordan at his peak, but Larry Bird, the pre-dynasty wall, shut him down before the dynasty ever began. Before Jordan could chase titles, he had to get past Boston. He couldn't. The Celtics swept Chicago in 1986 and 1987, 6 straight playoff losses. Jordan knew better than to provoke him. When a young teammate tried to chirp back, Jordan cut him off. Not a single person, not one word, no one talked to Larry Bird. In the 1986 playoffs, Game 2 at Boston Garden, Jordan exploded for 63 points. Still the most ever in a postseason game. He spun, faded, and scored over double teams, but the Bulls still lost in double overtime. Boston swept the series, and Bird's Celtics won the championship. And after that 63-point game, he gave the ultimate tribute.
That wasn't Michael Jordan out there. It was God disguised as Michael Jordan.
But admiration didn't soften the truth. Bird owned the series, and Jordan knew that, which is why he still had respect to the legend.
I'm amazed by certain things that they do, but I love playing with those guys because you know they're going to be very competitive, and they're one of the greatest players in the league. And
Bird didn't bruise Jordan's body, he bruised his legitimacy. Until he toppled Bird, the throne wasn't his. Larry Bird blocked the path to legitimacy, but Walter Davis, the revered mentor, showed Jordan the form he still had to chase. Before Jordan could rule the NBA, he had to learn how to play, and the man he studied most was Davis, six-time All-Star, Rookie of the Year in 1978, still the Suns' all-time leading scorer with over 15,000 points, known as the Greyhound. His mid-range game was smooth, efficient, and it became the template Jordan copied. Jordan admitted it himself. I built my talents on the shoulders of someone else's talent. Without Julius Erving, David Thompson, Walter Davis, there would never have been a Michael Jordan. I evolved from them. At North Carolina, Jordan wasn't just chasing wins, he was chasing Davis's form. Late nights in the gym, he'd practice the same jab step, pump fake, and wrist flick. Davis remembered. Michael listened. He wanted to get better. We'd practice 2 hours, go to dinner, then I'd come back and he'd still be out there. The bond lasted beyond college. Even as MVP, Jordan wanted Davis in Chicago. When Davis signed elsewhere, it stung. Jordan feared his mentor's shadow would outshine him, but he'd never admit it. He buried Davis's legacy with 6 rings instead. Davis shaped Jordan's game. Isaiah Thomas, the bad boy nemesis, tried to break it. From 1988 through 1990, the Pistons knocked the Bulls out of the playoffs 3 straight years, 65 total games. Thomas won 36, Jordan won 29. Detroit claimed the titles, Chicago took the bruises. Thomas wasn't the one throwing the hardest fouls, that was Lane Beer and Rodman, but he was the floor general behind it all. Under his direction came the infamous Jordan rules, a defensive scheme written for one man.
Chuck would say, if Michael goes to the basket, put his ass on the ground.
It worked. In 1989, Jordan was held to just 22 points in the Eastern Conference Finals opener. In 1990, he poured in 32 a night and still lost in 7. Then came 1991. Chicago had bulked up, trusted its depth, and finally flipped the script. 4 games, a clean sweep, but instead of a handshake at the end, the Pistons walked off before the buzzer. Cameras caught them leaving the floor, no eye contact, no respect. And Jordan, till this day, never forgot it.
I don't know what happened, but I know I didn't lead the walk-off. But if it has to do with the Detroit Pistons and it's good or bad, I'll take it. So if I led it, I led it.
Well, I know it's all bullshit. Whatever he says now, you know it wasn't his true actions then. You know, it's time enough to think about it. Or the reaction of the public that's kind of changed his perspective of it. You can show me anything you want. There's no way you can convince me he wasn't an asshole.
Isaiah would later say it was a team decision, that it wasn't personal. But to Jordan, it always was. And the tension carried on. In 1992, when the Dream Team was picked, Thomas had the resume, the rings, and the skill. What he didn't have was Jordan's approval. Jordan admitted it himself. Rod Thorne called me. I said, Rod, I won't play if Isaiah Thomas is on the team. Years later, Thomas said he thought it was just competition, but Jordan didn't see it that way. He wasn't just another rival. He was the scar Jordan carried, the grudge that never faded. From the brutality of the bad boys to the taunting of Reggie Miller, the relentless provocateur, a different kind of battle began.
Jordan and Reggie Miller having a go at it.
In the 1998 Eastern Conference Finals, the Pacers pushed the Bulls to 7 games, the only time a Jordan-led finals run went the distance. Jordan once admitted that Reggie Miller drove him nuts, and Game 4 in Indiana showed why. Miller shoved Jordan, popped free, and drilled a 3 with 0.7 seconds left. The Pacers tied the series. In Game 6, Miller scored 22 as the Pacers forced the only Game 7 of Jordan's finals runs. But in Game 7 in Chicago, Jordan closed the door. 28 points, a 5-point win, and another finals trip.
My rookie year, we were playing the Chicago Bulls, and this is Michael Jordan's 3rd or 4th year in.
Okay.
I'm a wide-eyed, energetic rookie, and we're playing this exhibition game, and Michael's going through the motion. And Chuck Person, who's on my team, who's a trash talker as well, is like, can you believe Michael Jordan, the guy everyone's talking about, who's supposed to be able to walk on water, you're out here killing him, Reg. This is in the first half. He's like, you should be talking to him. He's like, you know, you're right, Michael. Who do you think you are? The great Michael Jordan? That's right. There's a new kid on town, right? Kind of looks at me and starts shaking his head. So at half, I have 10, and he has 4 points, right? And I'm doing all this talking. He's like, okay. Into the game in the second half, he ended up with 44, and I ended up with 12. So he outscored me 40-2. And as he's walking off, he's like, be sure and be careful, you never talk to Black Jesus like that.
Even as a rookie, Miller couldn't help himself. As a rookie, Miller tried to talk trash to prove he belonged.
People have asked me for years why I couldn't stand Reggie Miller. It wasn't the trash talk or even the way he played. It was the way he carried himself, like he actually thought he was built like me. That's when I knew he had no idea who he was messing with.
Miller never beat Jordan when it mattered, but he earned enough respect and enough hate that Jordan banned him from wearing his shoes until he retired. Miller never won the war, but he left scratches Jordan never forgot.
Level. Paxson dances left against Allen Level. Left baseline, Jordan. Michael on the drive. Reverse layup block. Foul called on Olajuwon. That's his first.
Not so good when they walk it up.
And just like that, it's a three-point game. Jordan swatted away by Olajuwon. Oh, my goodness. They're going to call goaltending.
Yeah, I don't think so. That's if we.
Reggie Miller scratched at Jordan's ego, but Hakeem Olajuwon, the unsolvable riddle, was the one opponent he openly feared.
If you ask Michael Jordan what one guy he ever feared, it was Hakeem Olajuwon. He used to call us, I'm scared of the big African.
One night in January 1992 proved the point. With the Bulls fighting to stay atop the standings, down 2 in the final seconds, Jordan pulled up for a game-tying jumper. Olajuwon timed it perfectly and sent it away,
Takes it to end the game.
sealing a 105-102 Houston win. He finished with 24 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 blocks. Jordan admitted what made Hakeem so tough. He is so versatile because of what he can give you from the position. Not just scoring, not just rebounding, not just block shots. For all facets of the game, I have to give it to him. And the legacy never went away. In 1994, Houston beat the Knicks in 7. In 1995, they swept Orlando, the same team that had knocked Jordan out. Back-to-back titles, back-to-back finals MVPs, the shadow dynasty Jordan never faced. It wasn't just another opponent, he was the one Jordan admitted fearing, the riddle that kept him up at night. That what-if history never answered.
Olajuwon blocks it away. Wow.
Hakeem Olajuwon was the matchup Jordan never cracked, but Allen Iverson, the crossover architect, was the future daring to shake the throne. It happened on March 12, 1997. The Sixers lost 108-104, but Iverson scored 32. At the top of the key, one-on-one with Jordan. He crossed right, pulled it back left, and hit the jumper. Bulls still won, but that play made history. Iverson remembered it like this.
If I get the greatest player to ever play the game on me, I'm going to try my move on him. And I just backed up, and I gave him a little one, and he went for it. And I was like, oh, yeah, I got his ass now.
Tell me about the little guy's crossover.
Very quick. He keeps the ball real low, and he's small, and he's certainly closer to the ground than I am. So, I mean, his quickness is unbelievable.
Iverson got his moment. The crossover heard around the world. But Jordan kept the throne. He never beat him in the playoffs, never stopped him from winning. Iverson was the future knocking. Jordan was the present slamming the door. Michael Jordan's legacy is not just 6 championships. It's the caliber of the men who pushed him there. Rivals who forced him to sharpen every weapon, expand every edge, and turn fear into fuel. 6 titles, 5 MVPs, 10 scoring crowns, and the respect of those who tried and failed to topple him.
NBA championship.
As Shaquille O'Neal once admitted,
So I've heard players say, including myself, I feared Mike. I've heard players in your generation say they feared Kobe.
fear didn't weaken him, fear built him. Fear made him Jordan. Who do you think was Jordan's toughest opponent and why? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the legends of the game.